Good evening, guys, and happy Saturday to all of your sunshiny faces. So I don't have any grocery hauls for you guys today. Normally I would have Tony's and Caputo's because lately, since football's been going on, which again, guys, too, seems so weird that like we already had the 4th game of the season, and you know, like that now it's halfway through the season pretty much, you know, like we have 5 games of the regular season left. So I guess after next week, technically, it'll probably be halfway through because we're 3-1 right now. And in order to go to the playoffs, I think we need to be at least 5-4, potentially. Sometimes I think 5 and 4 teams might not make it in on occasion, and also 4 and 5 teams can sometimes make it in. But it depends on the school, like the class, like, you know, like they have like 5A, 6A, 7A, like that kind of stuff, based on like the school size. So they, like, I think some of those teams, again too, it depends on like how many are in, how many go and stuff like that. So again, depending, you might have like a 4 and 5 record and I think can still sometimes make it, but most of the time like 5 and 4 teams a lot of times make it, unless like something else weird, you know, like kind of happens or whatever. So again, we are right now 3-1, so we just need to win 2 of the next 5 games, which next week's game is going to be kind of tough, but I know that I think there's 3 at least, I want to say, that we have like a very good chance at winning. But like winning yesterday was huge. I woke up a little bit late yesterday, but like still kind of early compared to when I went to bed the night before. And then last night I went to bed late. This morning I woke up so late, and then I wasn't tired because I was having my coffee also so late, so I felt like that kept me awake. And I just looked at the time and was like, oh my goodness, I need to go take a shower and get to bed because it's so late right now and we have to go to Jewel tomorrow. So the reason I don't have Tony's and Caputo's haul for you guys, back on track to that, because I got distracted with football. But since football has started, my dad's been going to Tony's and Caputo's normally on Saturday during like the day, whereas before he was going, like, he'd just stop on his way home from work. But since he has to go to football practice at 3 o'clock, like right after work, he hasn't had time to be able to do that, so he's been going on Saturday. However, today they have football in the morning. They had like their football practice, like they do their Saturday morning. Like, I actually don't think it's football practice. I think that they do film, but they do it with the kids sometimes. A lot of times it's been more the coaches that go over the film, and so I think that's what they do. And so they're like, you know, like there for a couple hours, going over film from like the night before, from Friday, also looking at film of the team that they're playing for like the next week or whatever, so that they can kind of like game plan for that. And then they have like a quick like hour-long Zoom meeting and stuff like that normally on Sundays, so that they can like plan for the week ahead or whatever. You know, and they just kind of like talk over like what they're, you know, after what they did on Saturday and stuff like that, I think, to kind of like, you know, again, be like, okay, well, we'll do this thing or that thing or whatever, you know, like as far as like practice stuff goes. So, anyways, my dad was at that this morning, and then for his not coaching football job, he ended up having a, they had like a golf outing. Like, they do it once a year normally, and they do like a I don't know if it's like a raffle, but like they do like a whole bunch of different stuff. My dad won a Milwaukee like portable speaker, like Bluetooth speaker, and it also, I think, has like a phone charger, like you can charge your phones and stuff like that. So almost kind of one of those like emergency like radio kind of things that you can also use as like battery backup. But I think it plugs in with all the Milwaukee batteries, which is what we have and we use like our Milwaukee tools. So it's kind of like that, but it's also like for the job site. So like if you're working or whatever, you can like bring music and like that kind of stuff too. Like if we were working outside in the backyard or something like that, we could use it without having to go and run an extension cord and that kind of stuff, which is kind of cool because it's all just like wireless, and you can just use the batteries, and then again too, just like, you know, connected to Bluetooth on your phone or whatever. So it's kind of cool. Again, my dad ended up getting that as part of the like raffle thing. He's gotten a handful of different stuff. Like one year he got one of those like propane heater kind of things that you can like put on like your deck, or you know, out in your yard, whatever, like that kind of stuff, and it like heats like an area around you kind of. He got one of those. He got that was like, I think maybe the first year he went, or maybe the second year. And then there was a different year too where he got like a really nice like lawn chair kind of thing, and then he also got like a Bears cooler that now he uses like his lunchbox. It's really nice. It's actually pretty big, and it fits like a lot of stuff pretty well in it. So there's that. He got one year, and this year he got the Milwaukee thing. I think he might have gotten some of the like Milwaukee like pack out, which is like their like, you know, I don't know what you would call it, like it's on like rollers, you know, like almost like a toolbox kind of thing, but like it is, I guess it's a toolbox, but like there's different like pieces to it and stuff like that. So my dad actually has one of the coffee mugs that actually attaches to him as well. But I think he's had like gotten pieces for that, because I think that's what his whole company uses as well. So like I think they probably end up like, you know, again using a lot of that as part of the raffle stuff that they do or whatever. And it's not like a raffle, I think it's just like every employee or whatever gets like a number, and then they get to go and pick. But they also went golfing today too, so and then they get like a nice dinner kind of thing, you know, that kind of stuff. So anyways, my dad was there today up until not super late in the evening, but like later. At least I'm gonna say it didn't seem like it was super late in the evening, but that's because my entire day when I woke up today, it was like around when everybody else was eating lunch. So I feel like I'm not a good judge at like how late is for today, because it still probably felt early for me. I'm like, no, he got home around dinner time, but that was like dinner time for me, whereas like for everybody else it was like nighttime. Like everybody else is going to bed. So like I said, I am up now kind of late, kind of need to go and take a shower, kind of shouldn't have stayed up this late. I just did not feel tired at all, and I was kind of distracted too because I was editing and uploading. I uploaded a bunch, and then I also got to a lot more editing, and I edited a lot on Thursday, I think it was, or possibly maybe Friday. No, I don't think it was yesterday. I don't think I did any, but Thursday I think I got to a lot as well. So today when I was working on that, I just completely lost track of time. I had no clue that it was like way past my bedtime and that I need to get to bed now. But yeah, I slept in because I was so tired. And like the thing is that I just felt like I didn't feel, I don't know, like I don't want to say like I didn't feel bad, but like after the game yesterday, it just felt like kind of a combination of everything. Like I was kind of hungry afterwards, even though I did make sure that I ate right before we left, which was really good. But again too, we got home at like midnight or 1 o'clock, and like I hadn't eaten anything like before that, which was like lunchtime. It was like 3. I actually probably ate at like 2 o'clock yesterday, and then didn't eat again until we got back to the school, which is like around 11 o'clock. I had like a protein bar when we got back, and then it was kind of all I ended up eating because I was so tired, because I was like, I just need to go to bed. So then I woke up and I was hungry this morning. But I feel like too, it was a combination of like the hour-long drive to get there, and then the hour-long drive to get back, and like the game too was very like, it was an intense game as well. So you know, it was just like the emotions I felt like too, even though I sit in the end zone away from like, you know, the crowd noise sort of, and the, you know, the sideline noise and everything like that. Like I'm just sitting in the end zone, you know, it's like I said, very quiet over by me and stuff like that, and there's not a lot of emotion, but like still I'm very like emotional. Like I'm like the person that's like the loudest in like the bleachers when I'm there as a fan. So to like just sit there and like be quiet is so difficult for me, because I'm like wanting to like yell, and you know, but at the same time too, I can't like, you know, get too distracted because I need to be paying attention to like the camera, what I'm doing. But like I'm like, I just want to like, you know, like be an emotional fan, you know, in the moment and stuff like that. And so I know like at the very end when we ended up getting that interception, when it was like really big, like again too, it was the difference of 1 touchdown, you know, and so, you know, they were like, I think it's like the 15-yard line or whatever, which is where our kid ended up getting the interception. Like at that point I was like, oh my gosh, like I actually, like, at that point I like needed to pick my jaw up off the floor because I was just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that just happened, like that's huge. So, and the thing is too is that like where I'm watching it on the screen, it's like I see it happening like in slow motion. Like if I catch it, and it's like it's so close for me because like I'm zoomed in, so like I can see it so well. Like it's like, you know, again, different from like what the fans can see, you know, from where they're sitting. And so what I can see, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I can see him, like he's got the ball in his hands, like, you know, and I can see it really, really well. Whereas it's more obstructed, like if you're a fan. And you know, like again too, difference of if you're sitting in the nosebleeds of a sporting event and, you know, actually watching it on TV, you can see a lot more. So it was kind of the same thing too. Like I can see a lot better than I feel like everybody else could. So like as soon as I like saw it happening, I was like, oh my gosh, he's gonna intercept it, he's gonna intercept it. Like I knew what was coming before I felt like it was even really like noticeable that that's what was happening. It just seemed like it like happened in slow motion for me, and like I was able to like see it so well, like exactly like everything from my camera view. So like I said, it's just, that is like another thing for me though too, is that like I just normally sit there, I don't show a lot of emotion when I'm like in the end zone and stuff like that. I'm not like clapping and cheering, you know, and that kind of stuff. But at the same time too, it's like I also have to keep all those emotions in while I'm like just sitting there, and you know, I want to be like all excited and happy and cheering and stuff like that, but it's like I also need to be focused. So I feel like that's another like one of those just emotionally, it's kind of taxing, and maybe even more so because I can't like, you know, show emotion. And it's not that I can't, it's just that I don't really, because I'm like, I need to stay focused. I need to stay focused on like making sure I do my job kind of thing, you know? So, and also too, because sometimes it's awkward. Like I know that they had like a camera that was also set up, and they had people that were sitting over there, and I want to be like, yeah, like, you know, cheering when like I'm the only person from like our team that's over there also. Like it's just kind of awkward sometimes too. So like sometimes it's not like, but it's still like I'm just one person like in the end zone. It's not like I'm like with other fans, like we're all cheering and stuff like that. It's like I'm just one little person over here. So it's like obviously I'm gonna be way more noticed if I'm like making noise and like cheering and like clapping and that kind of stuff. Although I can't, because like I'm holding the camera, like, you know, not the camera, but like my little like camera viewer and like the joysticky kind of thing. It's not really a joystick, but it kind of is. It's like the controllers, and it's very similar, not very similar, but it's kind of similar to like buttons that you would like use sort of with like a controller, but it's not the exact same as like a remote control, but like more like a game control kind of. And it handles kind of like that too, where sometimes I get frustrated. Like yesterday for some reason there was a problem with zooming out on the camera, and I don't know what it was. And like when the coach came over, he was like when he was setting it up, I was like, oh, there's something kind of weird, like it kind of feels like, I want to say like sticky, but it was kind of like that. And he's just like, oh, you just gotta kind of like, you know, like hit it a couple times. For some reason, like it's acting a little weird right now. And so it kind of got better at certain times, and then was also kind of not good again. So I don't know what was happening with it, but at certain times the zoom out was not working very well yesterday. But it's kind of like that too, where sometimes you get really frustrated when you're playing a video game and you like want to throw your controller across the room. It's sometimes that too. Sometimes I get very frustrated when I'm using it. I'm like, this is not working, and I'm like scared that I'm gonna, you know, like they're gonna be like, we needed that camera angle, and I'm like, I'm sorry, the buttons aren't working. So anyways, that's like weird though, because we've never had that problem, and then yesterday all of a sudden it was a problem. So, and like I said, it wasn't a problem the entire time, it was just some of the time that it was the problem. So I don't know, it was again kind of weird. But I've grown to expect that at this point. I mean, everything actually worked like totally pretty much fine yesterday. It was just the zoom out was like a little weird, and sometimes I didn't catch stuff as well as I could have if it was working better. Like I couldn't zoom out all the way, or like at certain times to like get like a good camera angle, I guess, if that makes sense. So anyways, I'm gonna, like I said, take a shower and get to bed. We're going to Jewel and Aldi tomorrow, so I should have my Jewel haul for you guys. And then my dad's gonna try and go to Tony's and Caputo's after practice, I think, on Monday, possibly. Like I said, possibly. I will figure that out for sure and let you guys know. But like I said, at some point I should have those grocery hauls. I'm gonna have to be up really early because we have to get back before the Bears game's at noon tomorrow. So yeah, I really need to get to bed. I will see you guys in tomorrow's vlog. If you guys did enjoy today's, make sure you guys give a big old thumbs up. If you guys are new, we'd love it if you'd subscribe, and I'll see all of your sunshiny faces tomorrow. So bye guys.